I remember putting my boys on the elevator that night and just saying, Lord, help me see them again, please. It was November 9th, 2017. I had just turned 40 years old the month before. So all three of my boys were half grown, and I was teaching second grade at the time. And I hadn't been feeling really good that whole year. I remember telling my husband, I just don't feel good. I feel extremely tired, and I was experiencing a lot of migraines. Michael, my husband, was working in Oklahoma City at the time. I called him and said, I'm heading to urgent care. I feel terrible this week. I've got to get some help. So I walked into urgent care, and there I met Dr. Callery. We got to my family's health history, and I told him a little bit about my dad's brain aneurysm. And he said, you know, Krystal, it's no accident that I'm here today. I feel like I want you to get a brain and neck scan to just make sure with your dad's history of his brain aneurysm that you don't have the same thing. They were just looking at my brain and neck. Somehow, whoever was doing the CT scan clipped the top of my heart in the scan. They weren't even looking at my heart. They had the lights down. I was laying on the bed, and Dr. Max came to my right side. I remember to this day vividly how he kind of knelt by my bed, and he said, I have good news and I have bad news. He goes, the good news is that your brain and your neck look great. Bad news is you have an aneurysm in your chest. I didn't comprehend when he said chest that meant my heart, because I was healthy. I was 40 years old, had no health issues at all.
She was found to have this ascending aortic aneurysm, which is a blood vessel on top of the heart that can abnormally enlarge at any age. And it kept being overlooked because women her age are very unusual to have this type of presentation.
I was in shock. I was numb. And I remember many prayers that I prayed. God, I'm too young. I have too much life to live. I have to make it through this.
We've had several conversations regarding how best to treat this, because at her age, there's not a lot of literature and not a lot of options, honestly, about how to correctly treat her so that she could have a quality life without worrying about her heart and her heart condition.
Dr. Phillips came in one night when Michael and I were in the hospital, and he said, you know, Krystal, your aneurysm is larger than we first thought. It was over a 5, and at 5 they like to do open heart surgery. And he looked at me and said, if this would have not been caught, I would have given you maybe 3 months and you would have been gone. He ran through what he was going to do the next day in surgery. I asked him, am I going to die tomorrow? And he said, no, you're not going to die. So I woke up November 20th, the morning of my surgery, feeling in a sense at peace that today's the day that I'm going to get my heart fixed. I had to go in. I didn't have an option. I had to go in to make it.
With today's technology and with research and funds that are available now, we're able to correctly identify and early on the medical conditions such as Krystal's that we can intervene upon earlier and make a difference.
I remember waking up from ICU. It was on Thanksgiving Day. And I remember watching the Thanksgiving Day parade and just being so extremely grateful that I knew that I had a long road ahead to just get better and stronger. But to wake up on Thanksgiving Day in my room out of ICU was a wonderful feeling.
With any type of symptoms or family history, earlier is better. We know that for Krystal, it's made a difference in her life, and she should have and look forward to a happy and healthy life and an extended life as a result of her treatment.
If you have that opportunity to get checked and to have scans done and to be proactive, I would highly encourage it. I did a stress test and another CT scan. They said, Krystal, your heart is strong and it is functioning exactly how it's supposed to function. So, pretty amazing.